It's a continuous thing. The person will come and actually tells about this, this subject. We are helpless for that. We have to deliver the curriculum that I understand. But can we bring something good innovation as far as classroom is concerned? We will appreciate one important thing, that at least 5 to 10 minutes of investment of your time out of 45 minutes, where your session can bring some attention towards your student, will actually be a beautiful session. And if it is not, you can try. I have tried my sessions. Okay, bringing the attention towards the student. As per the psychology of training is concerned, after 45 minutes, no one is interested to listen anything more. Okay, the 46 minutes will come out, no one is intentionally interested. The mind will get closed itself. Now, how you deliver that? How you can expect actually the student which are sitting for around 3 hours, 4 hours continuously for lectures, how they can be attentive in your class? That is just the first part which is been. That is the reason the student will get for bunking. They will have something different activity. Okay, and that is obvious. That is nothing actually very whimsical or what. This is a normal thing. But here it depends on the classroom person, faculty, how you handle the student in this manner. So that is what the thing which we talk on innovation and learning. So what is the trunk part here? Here again human values, ethics and development. So lot many things you are telling, sir, how it can be happen when we are particularly delivering the session of any physics or any chemistry or anything, sir. How we can this thing. I am not trying to tell that all this can be implemented in first session, second session. Can we just try 1% of that? Taking initiative in different way. That is the objective of this FDP. So this is your human values, ethics and development. And rules, particularly student-centered and sustainable pedagogy is concerned here. Then what is the student-centered is what? Now for example, we understand, like we have spent our 16 years of thing in our education. We try to understand one concept after some time as a part, as per our learning is concerned. In this case, you also understand the students are available, their grasping particularly power is very lower side of some few students. And on another way, we can see the grasping power of students is very high. They are more intellectual than what the faculty want to also deliver. So this type of crowd is also available with us every time. Now in this case, what is important here? When we want to actually understand the student part here, so we have to particularly interact with the student in a very particularly attentively. That the content what is being prepared, is it being very much actually indigestible to you? Are you trying to get that thing, or can you make the content very simplified manner? So if you are selling the particularly conceptual things to the students, I think that the students will get actually the assets for the university itself. So that is the idea and the roots part. Then we talk about soil, NEP 220 research infrastructure and support. Now talking about this soil part here. Now when we understand practically, I am not criticizing the government or I am not talking about the policy matter here. Okay, but let us understand very practical things. Where NEP is concerned and policy is concerned, lot many things are being imposed on the particularly lecturers and professors. So these all things as well as support is concerned, also we have to seek for this support. But the thing is that after seeing all of the last thing, what is the first important thing we are doing? That we are ignoring the things. But what is the intention of this NEP and all? They have studied a lot on all this and they are sharing you the most important thing, information that this can be a tool for research development. Considering the NEP part here, if you are trying to align at least some percent of that in a course duration, not particularly in first lecture, second lecture, third lecture itself, in the course duration, I think the policy will start actually getting some fruits and benefits and the government will also be happy for that. So that is your soil pathway. Now this framework is concerned and trying to here understand on sustainable lifelong growth is here. So not a short-term marks that I am trying to address here, where adaptability and contribution to the society is concerned. Okay. So are we really interested towards the student? That is important. Okay. Now human, the whole person like intellectual, emotional, social, ethical and not just academic, that also already I explained. Now development part is a transformation of student to citizen from development to the problem solver. Now what is this important thing as per things are concerned? See basically when we talk about the intellectual level, like a student is there. These people, the students who are at a younger age, these people are assets on another age. But we have not identified actually their talents. They can be a great problem solver also. The engineers who are already studying, they can also be a very great problem solver due to their good mental ability to solve the problems. But problem is that we have not identified seriously the people. So we have to take some initiative. Again, I will come to that first part. You have to create some 10 people as stalwarts in your classrooms. At least you create a 5 stalwarts in a classroom. Separate them like a group part. Create them for different activities. Particularly delegate some authority to one person in the area of research and development. Delegate one person particularly for problem solving part. This will help not only for them for their individual content is concerned, but this will help them for the development as a good citizen as far as country is concerned. So you are contributing indirectly and directly towards that particularly whole development. So that is what we understand on this development part. Then research already I told about it. It can bring like curiosity, critical thinking and confidence to a question. So you have to ask some questions to the student. So the probing skill plays a very important role as far as the things are concerned on the student engagements. Then personal interest already I told that is a fuel. So you have to take some initiative in addressing your student, maybe some part of individual. Okay. So where you are connecting the learning to the aspiration and multiples for the motivation and retention. I hope this content is quite clear. Any questions on this part? You are free to ask the questions. I believe you interact the training sessions. Okay, not to only deliver the session one way. I would like to request you can ask as many questions if you are interested to ask. Fifth thing, when we talk about the intellectual part is concerned, social part is concerned, okay, as far as the emotional part is concerned. Now, what is this intellectual, cognitive as well as academic growth is concerned here? Critical thinking, overall learning, ask why, not just particularly what. These are the 5 W's already we understand and it's a concern about it, 5 W's are there, but at least you ask for particularly why, not just for the what. Okay, why you require these things? Why you require this content? Particularly this sort of questions you should ask to your particularly students. Now, second thing is that Bloom's taxonomy from remembering all the way up to here it is written like a creating. Because one important thing is that the human brain is such a developed brain, and if it is utilized very nicely, since the research always said that we are just using our 5% of brain. Okay, not more than 5% also. Okay, usually as per things, and those people who are using the brains on a utmost, okay, they are like very much actually famous people after the world is concerned. Okay, now what is about the creating things? This is something which is called as a brainstorming. We can't take actually we can conduct the sessions, whatever the sessions are there. Why not we should create like the practical things what we can create. For example, if we are conducting one session for botany is one of the things, right? We are just trying to tell here about these are the things, these are the plants, or these are the botany plants and all. These are the particularly seeds are there. This is the phase which is coming, this is the plantation which is coming, okay, and then it will grow, and then this is something, after that these are the fruits. Why don't we talk in the front that, we should try to do one activity along with our particular teaching part is concerned on botany. Can we do this in the course of time, not in one session, but can we do it at least accumulating 4 to 5 sessions, and we can do this activity at least once in a week's time. So they will come to know and they will try to relate the practical aspects of the teaching, what we are trying to deliver here. Okay, so that is what we understand. Then we have research literacy, reading papers, forming hypotheses, interpreting data. Now, since I, as a student from doctorate from Switzerland University, actually interacted and I have seen them very closely about the way of actually interacting in all this, right? Mostly nowadays, computers as well as AI, internet, this things, particular internet is there. That is an advantage for interactions and all, for the advanced classes and all. Modern technology nowadays has been totally changed. Nowadays I will go to various actually universities also, we found not this type of board actually. When we see where there are always the digital boards are being used, particularly where all the digital boards are AI enabled boards. Okay, so this type of activity is happening throughout the world nowadays. Now we are taking advantage. Now students are becoming quite quicker, particularly to understand the learning. That is one advantage. But secondly, they will not guided in a proper way. Handholding is not being done with the students itself. They will get misguided. That is the second disadvantage for the technologies. What is concerned. It is easier, and on another aspect, actually, it is creating certain different type of particularly work for the person. Okay. So here we want to understand the right way, particularly for the approach. Here you only can particularly suggest your career as a professor here, that how you have worked on the parameters. You can give a role model example in particularly when you are doing your research, how you have felt about, what are the problems you face in the research and all. This will bring some attention towards your student, creating actually interest in the learning part. Unless and until you are not telling them about your story, also personal story about that, how you have struggled actually for achieving your benchmarks and all, they will not be very interested also. So that is also required when things are concerned about the research part is concerned. Then if they are having a habit, you are there to help them to create the habits, particularly for the actually activity on reading, interpretations and all. So that is what I just want to understand, just want to convey here. Then interdisciplinary connections are there. Here we can understand the science talks the art, commerce and ecology. These are the different types of subjects which are interdisciplinary connected. Now talking about the immersion front. Here we can understand like self-awareness is there. The students know their strength and learning, particularly when the styles are clearly mentioned to them. Self-awareness is how you can bring the self-awareness towards the student. Particularly as I told you, some students are coming by force. Some students are not interested to actually attend these sessions. So how these subjects will bring particularly attention, again this is a challenge for the particularly the person who is delivering the session here. Now empathy, what is meant by empathy? Can anybody tell on this collaborative project, particular perspective technology? What is meant by empathy? Can anybody explain me on that? Just contribute to empathy part here. Yeah. We know very well sympathy part, right? What is meant by empathy then? See, empathy here, I just want to add here one more. You must be knowing you do not want to respond. Maybe I can consider that. Okay. Empathy is that sitting in a situation of a person. For example, you are sitting in this chair, okay. Maybe the chair is not having any fan or like that or any particularly this, and you are feeling very much, warm and all like that, And I am telling you just, that why you are sitting in this way, why particularly why you are not shifting here and there. Somewhere there may be some problem in the chair also. Okay, the chair is broken. You are sitting in different way. But I am addressing very simple. I am not able to understand what you are particularly having this problem with you. So that is what we should wear the shoes of a person. So when we are wearing the shoes of a person, then we will realize that what sort of problem he is facing. Simplification, superficial, telling that yes, I know what is that. That is one way. And realizing particularly about the person who is having a genuine problem, that's called as empathetic. So mostly nowadays, empathy, if you are bringing some empathy towards that, it will make some difference as far training is concerned. Then we talk about the failure as a data, not a defeat. Okay, the productive struggle elevated by the design. See, nowadays, moreover, particularly data will not get actually matched very well. Because when you understand also pharmaceutical or medical also, there are a lot of deviations as far as the data is concerned. The data will get changed every year, maybe 6 months of time also. But research has been done by 6 months prior, that will get changed after 6 months also. So there is always a deviation to be there in data. But we should not actually accept that is a limit for us. Okay, we should try to actually be making it productive, take the benefits for us. Faculty role here creates psychological safe classroom for intellectual risk. Particularly when we talk on here, again the most important thing what we are trying to do as an activity in the teaching as such as that, we are first of all a person who are mostly tuned towards the psychology of the student. What I believe, if you are not able to understand the psychology of student, then we will not actually do our job at the fullest. You should understand the psychology of the students. Okay, so how we have to do that? That is again the different course of action. Okay. Now, here when we talk about social party, citizenship as well as community responsibility is concerned. Mostly, service learning is that connect coursework directly to real community problem, as I already explained to you about the practical botany part here. We can understand when it is subject on particularly philosophy part is there, political science is there, any sociology concern is there, you can actually connect this learning towards the practical scenarios. Then here you can see about the sustainable development growth awareness, embed sustainable goals into every single discipline. Now first of all, nowadays this concept of sustainable is immersed and very nice concept actually. So we should always try to actually connect with this subject with our sustainable part. So that is only the way what we the convincing of the student will get happen, and they will also buy the sustainable development. Now collaborative structures like jigsaw, fishbowl, peer monitoring and co-teaching. These are some of the tools which are the activity based tools which are used actually in our training sessions. Actually to understand particularly more on the how the people are doing the activity in there. So you can use either single tools as per your convenience. Okay, one tool you can use at a time. There are certain things like we understand, we play some particularly activities like making creation of self-esteem development also. Maybe the time permits, I am having this slide also, we try to actually address that also if is time permissible. So faculty role here is designing projects that are linked to the classroom in the real world. So that is what actually I just want to talk about the holistic human development. There are 5 dimensions of faculty development is. We are talking about, as I explained you already, on the research for student here. Here research grows curiosity, particularly students stop accepting fact passively. Okay, and they begin asking, is this always true? Curiosity is the seed for human progress. So how you can create particularly this session where curiosity you can create, for example. Okay, now if I run through one of the practical aspects also, Can we able to understand? Can anybody can contribute in that session? Or particularly how you are creating the curiosity in the minds of people, in the student. Now, we will try to do this activity at the later end when the time is available. Okay, then research builds collaboration where we can understand group research methods like real world work is here, effort negotiation, peer review, and accountability. Talk about life skills, not just academic exercises. See, basically, the humans are driven by emotions mostly. So, how you particularly handle your student, it depends on you also mostly. It is not that he has came for the purpose for academic learning. There is no doubt here. I am not trying to deviate that you should deviate the academic subject and go for chatting with him for half an hour for some different subject. That is not my intention here. But here you can create certain value in your student be of this. Okay. So now peer review accountability is something like there are 2 to 3 people which are just sitting in the classroom. At a time you can collaboratively work for these 3 people, give the activity of them, ask them about the feedbacks on all aspects and all the particular subject is concerned. So do you have any questions? So here research builds confidence. The student who has done even a small survey knows they can add a human knowledge that reshape their entire identity. See, basically the person who works practically on the survey methodology also, he will come to know the more details as far as the data is concerned, as far as the real experience is concerned. So here we will always address that this type of activity should particularly done. So the building of confidence will happen with the student. Then research connects to community and student research on local issues like water, farming, health, such dual purpose, academic rigor is there and real world impact. Yes, it is practically true. When we talk about, there is different type of scenarios which are available. When we talk on the rural issues are something different. When we talk about actually the district level issues are something different. When we talk about the urban level and metro city is something different. So we can't actually ask particularly one type of activity or one type of student in the same manner because everyone is facing a different type of issues as far as things are concerned. So we have to deal this in a very separate way. So research develops future thinkers. See, India's ISR achievement and sustainable development goal targets green breakthroughs on began as research question and someone has dared to ask this thing. So we should take advantage of this sustainable development goal discussion. Now I am moving to the second slide is concerned. There are certain things which will always describe here where 10 to 15 scale, 16 to 25, 26 to 32 and 33 to 40 particularly, which will give you levels of the self-esteem part. So this way you can particularly describe your activity in your classroom. Then there is certain things share with the partner. These are the peer reflections. So what is the share with the partner? Particularly, you will always identify in your classroom that 2 students are sitting on the same 2 benches regularly. So this becomes, they are become like a partner or they are becoming like good friends with each other. You can actually inculcate this activity here or the person who is sitting neighbor to that person. You can inculcate this activity to them. So that way, you can particularly have the reflection, they will have the reflection of each other. So this is what one thing would you tell 20-year-old self to strengthen your self-esteem? This is one of the questions which is like to be asked to each other. So in this way, the reflection is will share with the partner is concerned. Here in activity B, when we are understanding here, again I am exploring the more important of this personality here. And we will understand there is a D which will always relate here as a dominant. What is the dominant? We understand by dominant. That is, these are the traits: direct or decisive, competitive, result focused. They are people with strong will, and these people are called as independent. Okay, these people will lead. So this get things done. Natural leader thrives under pressure and challenges. These are the natural quality of a dominant person. Then learn to slow down, listen more, and value the process, not just an outcome. Particularly, use these challenges, questions, debate formats, competitive activities, and may dominate the discussion. See, the activities what we have to conduct, basically, as per the things are concerned about the personality refers here. Then, second, we understand this type of trait. We understand like influential traits. So where they are delivering like they are enthusiastic, very optimistic, talkative, creative, inspiring, as well as highly social. So we can understand actually this type of people also in this way. So here energizes the room, build relationship, makes learning fun and memorable. So you can choose your activity particularly how you can be a better, particularly communicator in your classroom. Whether you want to become an influential person or whether you want to become a dominant person. So here we can understand like thrive in the group activities, storytelling will be there, and apart from storytelling, gamification and peer discussions. So a lot of games activities are also being conducted actually, and peer discussion. This usually happens in the training is concerned. Third is what steady person. We understand like the traits with the patient, loyal, then calm, supportive, consistent, as well as reliable, team oriented. This is a steady person. This backbone of any team brings stability, empathy, and genuine care. So you will find this type of, particularly the people who want to deliver the session in this way also, this type of personality always. And secondly, you will find students also in this way. So we have to collaborate with this. Then here we can understand about the practice of assertiveness. Share your opinions more readily, the better. They matter the most. Here we can understand the people in collaborative, non-threatening format, external peer teacher things. Now fourth is what? That is conscious. Here we can understand about the accurate, analytical, systematic, precise, quality focused, and data driven. So this type of student will also be occurred, and this type of faculty will also be there. So where you will ensure the depth and rigor, spot the gaps, other lists brings the credibility here. Okay, so don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Be comfortable ambiguity. This is the solution for that. So love case studies, data, structure activities, and resisting open-ended test. So these are the actually particularly things we can identify as per the gaps are concerned about the addressing the student part. I hope this is quite clear on this personality. Right. Here we can build a communication very nicely with the student. How we can build a communication very nicely? As far as styles are concerned here, there is one way which is called like assessment. So what is this assessment here? Here you can see instruction you can give to the student. Rate is statements like first is never, second is rarely, third is what sometimes, fourth is like often, five is always. Okay, and then be completely honest. This is for your eyes only. Means what? You are trying to develop the student in his own way. You are not trying to actually develop the student by way of actually only inculcating him the all things whatever the curriculum is concerned. You are trying to develop. When he start actually giving marks to himself, he will try to be very real as far as it is concerned on particularly his own way of thinking as well as own way of studying also. So this is one of the sessions where we understand like sections like assertive communication is concerned. So what is the difference between assertive communication as well as aggressive communication? If we ask about the student will never realize, or when we talk on that front also will not actually be able to understand. But when we put down in front of the questionnaires in front of him, he will able to get understanding on that, like, what is like assertive communication. If we are throwing some 5 questions like, I express my opinion clearly even when others disagree. So this is one of the particularly statements which is telling him. So how he should rate himself, the above things are there. Like never is there, or rarely it is given, or particularly often, or always part is given, right? Then second is that I maintain eye contact and open body language when speaking here. Okay. So what is this I maintain eye contact is what I am not having that much of fear when I am particularly trying to address the attend this session itself. Okay. Now thereafter, what is this? I say no when needed without guilt or particularly over explaining. Here again, he can remark himself here on the 3 fronts. Same what I told about the assertive communication, it can be implemented to your empathetic listening also. So we will understand actually what is meant by like empathetic listening part. I notice non-verbal cues like tone or a posture in others. So this is one of the activity which you can address on the particularly empathetic listening is concerned. Now what about the second level things? Like I ask clarifying questions before responding. I ask only clarifying questions. So this he will rate himself in that manner. Like and then never, rarely, sometimes, often, always, completely honest. Okay, this way he will deal with things. Now you can also conduct one individual actually 3-minute session like how we should be a best teacher. Okay. For them unforgettable teacher. How we can be a best teacher? They can't forget us for lifelong. Then again another activity like small groups are there. You can share your list particularly, find top 5 qualities in your group, agree on, be ready to defend your choices, assign a 3-minute speaker. You can make your student participative, particularly after learning is concerned. So you can ask your student to deliver certain thing about the particular personality, about you also as a teacher. Okay, give him that chance to explain himself. Now this is a fishbowl debate here. You can conduct like 2 groups are sitting in a circle. Then you have to make debates for that. Like subject expertise more important than teaching methodology. Like others observe and then respond. This way the fishbowl activity is there. Then there is another group synthesis. Whole room agrees one universal quality that defines teaching excellence, and it becomes the activity shared. Now, these are some of the activities of group discussion which can be. Here we will understand about the hot seat part here, which values the clarification. Okay, how it works? One monitor sits in the hot seat in the front. They make a board statement about teaching. And from the list of the below there rule, the group has 2 minutes to challenge an evidence, and the volunteer must defend their position then switch. So how you choose your statement here? You can choose or write your own. Like for example, students learn best when they are afraid of failing. Agree or disagree? You can write down from your end what is your particularly answer for the same.
Excuse me, sir, last 5 minutes.
So this way the activities are there. Okay. And second, what we can understand, a teacher who cannot inspire has no right to teach. It is a too harsh statement or particularly absolutely true that you can actually comment on that. The student can also comment. Now third is examination measure nothing except memory. Is it a reform or shall it be kept here? Then the best teaching happens outside the classroom. Agree with the conditions. Okay. Now, in our trainings also we conduct some classroom as well as activity which are out of classroom particularly. Maybe in the open air we can understand the classroom is adjacent that we have to go into the garden and all, and we have to perform one activity here. So that is also one of the activity which can be done as a part here. So marks and grades destroy student nature's curiosity, abolish the grades. Now technology will replace 80% of what teachers do within 10 years. Whether you agree with this threat or opportunity, that is what again the technology. A student failure is always ultimately a teacher's failure, fair or unfair. And emotional intelligence more important than academic intelligence in teaching how to. So these are the particularly hot seat for value clarification is concerned. I hope this is a personal growth plan and all. Stop here for and I want to just give some 5 minutes of time, maybe if it is available. You can have some questions. You want to ask some questions. You want to see any other slide. You want to have some clarification on any concept or anything what I have delivered. I need to give an opportunity for you. So you can ask openly the questions. Or if you want any suggestions also you can provide the suggestions. No problem. Please participate in the session.
Now the session is open for questions.
Yeah.
Number of questions.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think whatever you have presented, is available. Most of the things available on the website.
Okay.
Many things. And in the university system, particularly in Indian state universities, hardly we get time 3 months per semester. 3 months.
Okay.
And we have 4 months. 4 months okay, but in 4 months there will be Sundays, second Saturdays, holidays. 1 month we have to delete. So only 48 hours we will get, both for PG and music. And we are heavily loaded with the syllabus. And syllabus is designed by UGC. There are 4 units, very large units, starting from basics to the top.
Yes.
Okay. No university, no board, no UGC or state government is ready to reframe the structure on par with the need of the hour. No BOS or no state government or no UGC also is ready to frame the syllabus based on the need of the hours. Isn't it?
Correct, sir. Correct.
So in such situations, when we are not able to even complete the syllabus in 3 months, how we can do all these exercises?
Very nice question, sir. Sir, first of all, I have this one. Have you completed it?
No, still there are many. No, if you want to answer this question, it's okay.
No, sir. Please.
Second, okay. Second thing I tell you.
Yeah.
Now see here the situations. We have in our university more than 150 colleges.
Yeah.
On the university campus, we have almost more than 200 teachers.
Yes.
Okay. And all this AI or any modern technology, if you want to use, first you need to understand the basics of your subject. Second one is, you need to understand what exactly or what technology is useful for your subject and for your lecture. For that, teacher need to read or update yourself. And in such situation, is it possible to have the updated teachers? And for those teachers, is there any formula to improve?
Professor Vidya sir has asked very genuine question actually, and here it could be particularly one of the thing also what we can understand. Since when we are trying to deliver the content and we are expecting particularly that what he's saying about the practicals, about we are getting 4 months of time for the first question, and out of that 1 month is into the Sunday and all of the holiday and rest of the thing and the heavy content, and what are the expectations, and then whether we are ready to particularly take a call on this. But yes, one solution is there for this. Surely, it will take some time. Okay. Now here there are two things which we have to do. Our intentions are clear. First of all thing is that my vision is clear that I should benefit my students. That is my intention. Now if we have a group of people which can come with us to meet the higher authorities and take the approval for that particular things. If it is they are approving the thing, then I think particularly in this way you can make amendment particularly as per the methodology is concerned. I am not trying that you should keep the content part, but you can use smart way to particularly delivering the particular teaching methodology is concerned. I think that will save some of your time. And if you get the approval, since you have to particularly work in the protocols of particularly government, university and all, so you need to take approval with the systems. And if you are getting the approval, then I think that you are doing your work as per the things are concerned. Hope I addressed your question, first question. Now, talking about this second question. Second question, particularly has mostly on. Sir, can you repeat once again? Yeah, the second thing what he was trying to tell is very correct actually. It is particularly here he is giving a thought particularly. Yes, it's very true to learn the technology, new technology which are available as of now. And I also agree with all, particularly the technologies are such a things which are getting changed every 6 months also. Upgradation and all. And in this thing, what is the conventional what we have to deliver particularly, we can get deviate from that also. And how you are expecting particularly to upgrade ourselves on that part. So but one thing is important, that in this scenario I am not asking particularly to use all the technologies, all sort of things, but 1% of implementation of activity can be changed from a conventional teaching methodology. Second, I understand being into the teaching or being into training, it is the secondary role that we have to upgrade ourselves daily. If we are not upgrading ourselves, it is not that we are particularly losing from our job or what, but it is that we are losing from the knowledge base as well as upgradation is concerned. So it is our default activity as a particular person from a resource or training that we should always try to upgrade ourselves. I am not telling that very hard working, you should upgrade yourself, but you should try to partially spend at least 15-20 minutes for you for a day on particularly upgrading yourself. Because it is a market need as of now. Competition, as far as things are concerned, the era is getting changed. How we will particularly, tolerate
my question, sorry. My question is not about your technology. So to incorporate your particular, there are thousands of techniques, thousands of softwares available.
Yeah.
Even free softwares available online.
Yeah.
So what exactly, which application is useful for my teaching, particularly for my topic, if I am taking one particular topic, so I should update myself in that particular topic first.
Correct.
What is the updated version today, updated knowledge, and if I am not able to make it to understand compatible students, we have to apply the technology. Software, I have to use your software. Isn't it? If I am not able to make it compatible to the students with the available resources with me, then I will search for the useful applications. Isn't it?
No, sir. Here I want to iterate here more.
See, I regularly use all these software.
Okay, please continue.
My teaching, my lectures in other universities, other conferences, I use that.
Yeah.
When I use it, I should know what are the components of my subject. Suppose a particular one technology or method is there. Have a particular component which is evolved component is there. So that I should know this is the new thing which has come in my subject. And to present that concept, I should use the technology.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah.
So that means my intention is teachers should be updated
Yes, sir.
in their own subjects.
Yeah.
Without updating, no technology will be useful.
Technology is a latter.
Yes, sir. And there is no any monitoring bodies over teachers or over student. Even in the student level also, we have even one bad teacher can spoil the whole scenario. Suppose if I give more marks and other teacher is not giving more marks. Now the students will be behind those teachers who is giving more marks. So you cannot use all these things and make the student to sit here and to understand and all these. Ultimately marks will be important in most of the rural areas or most of almost whole India I can say. 90% of India today is suffering from because of these things. So is there any technology with you to monitor teachers' progress accurately?
It depends subjective, sir. You are talking about monitoring progress of the teachers, no?
We have appraisal reports we submit every year.
That are conventional reports.
Okay. So whatever last year I have submitted the same thing with different shape, I submit this year also. Now since you are talking about technologies, so make it available to the institute so that the correct approach will be applied and it will be useful to assess the teachers, and that will be used because no teacher is done. Everybody is good teacher, but because of the circumstances, because of so many other issues, so teachers or we people are not working to our level. This is the real situation in the higher education.
I agree, sir. I appreciate your contribution, also particularly toward these things. But understanding the problem is one part, okay, and particularly settling down in the problem is another thing, okay. So what we can do, we can't change the situation in case of this. At least we should try to do a good discussion on these parameters. I appreciate that about technology. Now technology role is not coming primary here. Please try to understand this. What he tells is very correct. Means I am implementing certain easy way to generate something here. That is one way what I am getting, but I am not knowledgeable on the subject front itself. The whatever availability of ready-made source I am getting, that is not will justify my actually delivery of the session itself. That will not justify the session. So the reason behind that is here, I have already told in the speech itself, humans should be more smarter than actually technology part, because machines have been developed by human only. So if we are depending on more machines, then it will not happen. So but you have to take support for making a smart work with the machines also. You can save some time, because the days are gone now where only typewriters were only moving and no computers were available. Nowadays the era has been totally changed, and now if we are not getting changed by way, then the situation will give us something actually but the setbacks to change it.
I request Professor G.M. Vidyasagar, Professor Botany Department, to chair this session with Dr. Majgi sir.
Right now, almost evening, and we are sitting here for a long time, and I don't want this to be lecturing session again, and I am very young compared to all my faculties, and coming from a tech background, I can just give some inputs of how education system can be transformed. I am a fellow trainer as well from Jkarthikeya Foundation. I am an artificial intelligence and machine learning trainer. So basically, computer science department department you have students, teachers they learn about computers, coding, Python and all of that. Alva, that is true? Yes? Yes, can I get a yes? Yes, thank you. So, and assignments complete madake AI use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, exams complete ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ AI use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, and even for notes they're not even focusing on teachers. And teachers, we have some things where we actually get involved with students and we complete our syllabus. Like sir said, we have around 3 months or 4 months to complete a portion. And in that portion, we rush to that portion and students are rushing for marks. And get marks for all of these things, they're just getting rushed to the process, and AI is being utilized, and human brain's thinking capacity is going down, and AI is being utilized by many students. Now, the challenging factor is, will AI replace teachers, or in future will it become like only students will learn with AI and no need of college or teachers or anything like that? Or will it be where it's going to be a collaboration? Are teachers going to adapt themselves in such a way they are going to utilize AI kind of things and technological tools to enhance the teaching experience, or will it overtake us is the question. I strongly believe we as a teacher coming here for faculty development program, we need to upskill ourselves in such a way we can keep up with the young generation. Sir, Honorable Sir even said 45 minutes is the concentration capacity. 45 minutes is the concentration capacity. If you ask me as a trainer who trained around Karnataka, multiple different colleges, right now 25 to 30 minutes is max. After 30 minutes or 25 minutes, students are like, sir, मुझे class गया, मुझे नहीं चाहिए, I cannot handle this class. That's what they say, and that's what they do. Now, how are we teachers going to keep up with that? I am young, maybe I am 5-7 years, older than my students that I train, or maybe even close to 10 years or something. So I can understand how to keep them, in that touch, how to actually interact with them, and how to get them involved in our play. So I'm just planning to I want to make it short and sweet, without taking a lot of time, showing you some ways how you can keep your students involved in your sessions and in your classrooms, and keeping them interactive and keeping them up to date. And it's very much important we can cater for every student we train for or we teach for. Sometimes toppers will be there, and we like toppers. We like students are sitting in the first bench or answering it to us regularly. Students in the last bench are like hopeless people. Okay, they don't want to listen. Not very, very naughty, we cannot control them. That is our, intention. But the truth is, I want to give you one small story. I want to give the name of the student as well. This student had more than 9 backlogs. More than 9 backlogs. His name is Harshit. And he's a very smart person. But papers, very bad. But he's smart from a computer-based background. There was this company coming for placement. Final year student, placement companies are coming. HOD said everybody can attend. Sometimes HOD say, sometimes college has rules. Only good students should attend for this particular placement. I don't know how it is here, but there are some colleges which only push good students for placement, right? Bad students with backlogs are being neglected. That happens. But here, he was there, let everybody attend. More than anyway. Let everybody attend the placement. And after attending, the toppers and the people with good marks, 9 GPA, 9 CGPA, all of them, they couldn't clear this exam, but this fellow Harshit cleared the exam. He cleared the entrance test, he cleared the aptitude, he cleared the mock interviews, every process, then he got job offer. Students who were neglected by the entire department telling these irregular students turned out to be the one cracking the interview. Our whole point of the education system is to develop students who can work and become independent. When we as a system, if our goal is to, develop students who can get placed and get a job, and if we are failing to do that as a system, maybe there are certain things that we can change within our system. Maybe we don't need that entire curriculum, or maybe we just need the right skills that can be taught within this. I know it's an ambitious claim. I know this is a very ambitious claim from my side. I cannot change the system, definitely. There is higher authority in the university and all of that. It's not only about one university, it's about multiple universities trying to take a stance. And the entire system has to be revamped. And if you see closely in foreign countries, they don't have our written kind of exam procedures. In German, you can have an entire sheet, one A4 size sheet, with full of formulas, with full of notes, where you can keep that one single A4 size sheet and take your exams. Basically, copy in A4 size sheet. In German, the examination is conducted in that way. That's what I heard. And it's about trying to get people thinking critically than theoretically. Actually getting their hands-on experience on things that matters. So here as teachers, what we can do is we can keep our students involved in our teachings. So it's not only about monthly exams or unit tests or half-yearly or final exams. We can conduct session. We can conduct quizzes. We can conduct normal tests, class tests, maybe every 2 weeks once, so that they are updated regarding the sessions that is being conducted on a weekly basis. And we can say 2 weeks once test conduct madaka astu sathya because you have to prepare. As a teacher, I have to prepare for the test. As a teacher, I have to come up with the questions. And as a teacher, it's very tough for me to 2 weeks once keep creating questions. It's not possible, most students will attend. But I can tell you it's easy. With whatever tools we have like ChatGPT, with Meta and all of that, it is completely easy to conduct, quizzes. So what we can do is, I just want some of you to give me some topics in such a way that, let's say you are finding it difficult to come up with question papers or to continuously keep your students under monitoring. Any one teacher, anybody can, give me one particular topic. Any one of you, if you are willing. Any one topic that you teach. Yes, sir.
Write a poem on Buddhas.
Write a
Poem on Buddhas.
Buddhas. Okay. Write a poem on Buddhas. Okay. Let's see what is the answer. Now how it goes. Okay. So immediately there is a ChatGPT giving you an answer, a poem on Buddha. Automatically created. And it is pretty long. It is very long. And sometimes you can be like, it's very big. I don't want that. And coming to prompting. So this is what is very, very, very essential when it comes to prompting with ChatGPT. There is something called as prompting techniques. In this is the way you master how to talk with AI. It's not how you're going to talk with AI. It's you can talk anything and you get answers. But you will have to talk efficiently to get a more accurate answer. Sir said, say your name. Manzoor. Okay. Manzoor sir said, talk with Buddha as a write poem on Buddha. So now I am going to modify it in such a way, take the same thing, write a poem on Buddha, add some devotionals along with it, and keep it only within 7 lines. A small changes. Write a poem of Buddha, add some emotions along with it. Actually I said emotions, but it's fine. and keep it up to 7 lines. Now, instead of having a full 24-line poem, you will get a 7-line poem. So it's like altering your prompts in such a way, only you take what is required. Sometimes, I don't know if we all watch movies, and we all know this movie by Rajinikanth, I say it everywhere, where he created a robot. The robot can dance, the robot can fight and do all of that. And in that movie we see, suddenly the villain will go and he will say, go pick up the gun. But villain's robot will go pick up a gun. It won't pick up a gun. So that's wrong. It's performing wrong. The intelligence is not up to the mark. So sometimes AI, what we see here, that whatever you get cannot be accurate. It cannot be completely reliable. It also depends on how we talk with it and how we interact with it, that it gives the right solution. See, if you see here, within 7 lines, I got a poem, instead of having a full 24 lines poem. So this is just an example from what Sir said. So there will be many teachers who are sitting here, professional in your teachings. I want one topic in such a way, I will create a quiz on that topic, and we will try to implement it along with Google Forms, and at the same time we will also create a PowerPoint presentation for that particular topic using Canva, so that we can use it in our classroom presentation also. So I just need one of the teachers who, who's respectfully here, who has a problem, or who wants to deliver a topic to your students. Any one of you can just say one topic from your subject, so that I can just take that subject. I have zero knowledge, but I'm going to use AI to generate something within this short span. Any one of you? Any one teacher here? Just give me a random topic. Random topic. Yes, sir.
Men and law. Men and law.
Sir?
Men and law.
Women and law. Okay. So we got a topic called women and law. So instead of just typing women and law there, let's try to frame a proper sentence. So I'm going to talk with ChatGPT in such a way I'm actually speaking to a person. I'm not going to just say women and law. Okay? What I'm going to do is, see, all of you can even use your phones with ChatGPT and you can use this. It's not only that I am showing, you can go ahead, use your phones and interact. So what we will do is, we'll go back and we'll say, I am planning to create a quiz. Let's say women and law is a topic that I'm going to teach my students. And they went through the class for 2 days. I completed the topic for women and law for 2 days. Now, students are like, women and law, an examination, I will go there and will prepare and study. But right now, we are going to keep our students on the loop. We are going to keep our students getting interacted regularly on every topic. Okay. I am planning to create a quiz on women and law enforcement. Let's add some good words so that we understand. Law enforcement. And law enforcement. Let's come out of the quotations so that we can just develop a sentence. I'm planning enforcement. Yes. Yes. I'm planning to create a quiz on women. I just completed a session with my students for this. Let's talk. It's completely fine. You can type that as well. I completed a portion on this particular topic for my students. I want you to help me craft a 10-question quiz that is critically challenging. For my students. Let's keep it simple. I'm just improvising whatever sir said. I'm trying to improvise it based on it. Give a full stop and let's either enter button, this is ChatGPT, and let's see what happens. What is that? Something retry, let's give it a retry. Let's give it a retry. Okay. The internet was turned off. Yes, it's low. Oh, it's loading, maybe the internet issue. But what happens is that, check. So right now, once we enter this, we are going to get a series of questions. How long it's going to take? Can we just refresh that page? Quiz on women and law enforcement, historical analysis. How do global conflicts such as World War I and World War II influence women, entry of women into law enforcement agencies? So it's giving us 10 different questions. Can we run through all the 10 different questions? Legal framework, role evolution, critical thinking barriers, case evaluation, and policy outcomes. So it's giving us, a complete 10 different questions. 10 different questions on women and law enforcement. So how women's role with time changed in entire, our freedom India. How it changed and what is the present role, how it is evolved and all of that. Now, let us rewind back and go into such a way, we are going to create a PowerPoint presentation for the same. Can we do that? A PowerPoint presentation for the same topic. So what I'm going to do is that, I'm going to come down to the end of the 10th question. I'm going to come down. I'm going to copy that. What I'm going to do is, there is a copy, I can, here, yes. We're going to copy that entire thing. And to do, I'm opening another tab called Canva. What am I doing? I'm opening another tab, another application called Canva. So Canva is an application. So yes, Canva is an application you can create interactive, PowerPoint presentations, or even create some posters or whatever that is, even games. You can even code. AI will code for you if you ask for something. Maybe tomorrow, provided the right time, I will see how AI codes for what we ask. Or if not, I will show the demonstration right here itself. And we'll see how AI is evolving, with the course of time. And what are the advantages and the disadvantages of that. So yes, we are going to, you have to give it to the login page. So I actually kept everything logged in. That's why I was using my laptop. So these are just, basic techniques, but the delay, please bear with me. There is a slight delay for all of that is happening. But while that loads, I will just tell you what Canva does. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this woman, what was the topic again, sir?
Women and law in India.
Yeah, women and law in India. So what are the different laws or whatever? I am going to generate a PowerPoint presentation using Canva. Yeah, it loaded. So what I'm going to do is that, go back. There is Canva AI on top. And AI. When you go for Canva AI, now you get some option called as design at the bottom. We can go to design. And we have presentation in the third. Yes. And audience and silent we discuss. We can go to the top and we type something. No, we type. So yes. So I'm not going to paste that. Let us type something. So let us type. I am planning to create a PowerPoint presentation about law and women in India. This could be any other topic according to your own subject knowledge and your own subject. Teachers from different. I'm creating a PowerPoint presentation on cyber security, or you can even add some topics from your textbooks. I'm just giving you a basic demonstration. You can even add subtopics from your particular subject with your textbooks. I'm planning to create a PowerPoint presentation on women and law in India. Yes, I'm going to use the same wording like what says women and law in India. Help me to create a PowerPoint presentation of the same. No fancy wordings. Yes, let's give an enter. So, this Canva 8 designs the entire PowerPoint presentation for me. It's thinking, let's stick to more minimalist. Yeah. And we will submit. See, this is just a sample. You can take your own subjects that you're teaching, your chapters, along with the subheadings of what other points are there, and you can paste it here in Canva tools and to create a PowerPoint presentation within 2 minutes. Okay, let's generate it. You can even view and generate, but we're going to just generate the dailies. Okay, it's all AI in the background. We are giving instruction, AI is preparing us for this. So as it loads, you get some designs. You get something loading and you get 3 or 4 different choices and varieties of PowerPoints from which you can choose to take lectures. If you're wondering, if you're thinking, ನಾಳೆ ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲ how am I going to present, how am I going to talk about certain topics to my students, how am I going to take the session, how can I make it interactive with my students, then you can just take, since you are respectful teachers with utmost knowledge in that particular subjects with the experience that you have, you just need a reference, maybe a visual reference is there, start. You can explain. So students are not only seeing you speak. Maybe after 20 minutes they'll be like, sir, boring again, sir. It's too boring. I don't want to listen. Not only that, you have a visual representation of whatever you're speaking. And provided that you're giving the right prompt with the right details, the content that will be on the board that AI generates will be also same as the syllabus. If you are not giving the right details, it will be out of the syllabus. And later you cannot be like AI is giving wrong answers and AI is out of syllabus. If you know your syllabus strongly, you can use AI to generate syllabus worthy AI content. That is collaboration. It's not to replace teachers or it is not to give wrong information to teachers, but it is to work along with the teachers. So yes, let's choose the first one, women and law in India. Let's click on that. Use Canva editor on top right corner. Yes. We have a complete, 12 to 15 slide presentation on women and law in India. We go to the next page, women's legal status in India. And there is a historical milestone, women's property rights, the child marriage restriction rights, key laws, women rights. The most of the things. Key laws protecting women. Thank you so much for the topics that even I get to learn. Because even I don't know certain laws that is being proposed for women in India. That was a beautiful topic where even you actually get to know so many things. Legal cases, landmark legal cases in India, and different topics. You can just keep moving. 70% of women experience under-reporting of crimes. So, the AI is not only just generating content, it is referring to Google and Internet to get statistical information. We can just run through the entire slide. All you can do is impact on society or education access and etc. And if you press share there, the share button on right top, and download that, it's downloaded. It's there in your laptop or it's there even in your phone. You don't have to think a lot. If tomorrow you go to class, if you don't have a proper content, but if you know your subject, if you know what your syllabus, you can generate with the help of AI and use these things for your reference. You have a visual. I believe everybody has projector in their classrooms, and most of the time we don't use it or something. And our UG students and PG students are no more kids. They know to refer, provided that we just guide them. We need not teach them in depth. We just need to give them a proper highlight of what's happening. Our preparation, go through the one. So that is the ideology we have. So to make our work easy, to make the teaching work easy, we can use these kind of tools to generate quick, PowerPoint presentations with the help of AI to make our lectures interesting. This is one thing. Now let's say I took a session for my students on this topic. See, when you can verify the content, sometimes AI will generate anything. As a teachers, it's our responsibility that we verify the content and we edit and modify. We cannot be like, AI and content. No. Sometimes the content can go wrong. So, we have to make sure we verify the content according to our textbook syllabus. It should match. At the same time, the matching will be there, but we need to verify. We need to talk in the right way so that it gives content in the right way. After that, you can verify. It is not cross-check. It's not like AI, okay. Give me content, implement. No. It should be like we cross-verify and recycle the process. So that is what we are supposed to do. Now let's say I took an entire topic. So I covered women and law in India topic. 2 days I took this PowerPoint presentation, 2 classes, and the third class I'm going to give a small 25-minute test for my students. How am I going to do that? So for this, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. What I'm going to do? We will create stuff from the start, no problem. We go to ChatGPT. Yes. I'm just going to ignore the previous one so that I'm going to develop on whatever source here. So what I'm going to do is, I just conducted a session on India, women in India, right? Women. That's a topic I just. Women and law, sorry, yes. Women and law in India. I completed a topic on women and law in India. I completed a topic. So it's like talking with the person. I'm going to interact with AI tools in such a way and talking to a person. So it becomes personal experience. At the same time, AI gets a proper understanding of what we're looking into. Yeah, I completed a topic on women and law in India. Help me curate. Let me use some fancy words. Trust me, I know sometimes vocabulary is not everything we have. Suddenly curate all these languages, but we can keep it simple and in the right way. Help me generate, also help me create a 10 question quiz. 10 question quiz. That's it. I'm not going to. Now I'm just giving you a sample. But you can highlight the subject topics and you can even copy paste certain topics in this place where you can actually generate accurate quizzes according to the requirement. Right now, what AI generates can be generalized questions. The question generation here is generalized. It's not going to be subject oriented. It's just generalized questions. But you will have some topics in your syllabus. You can mention your syllabus after writing few sentences so that it will stick within that syllabus framework. So you will have to do some work. You will have to do some typing or you will have to do some copy pasting here so that you get syllabus accurate results. But I'm just showing an example of how it works. Yes. Then 10 question quiz. Let me enter that. I'm just reaching start. I'm excluding the previous generation. Okay. Quiz. Here are 10 questions on women and law in India designed to test conceptual understanding, legal awareness, and critical thinking among students. I have these 10 questions. You can just go down, you can just verify workplace safety, criminal law enforcement, property rights, child marriage, reproductive rights and laws, gender selective practices, landmark judgments, critical thinking questions. And these are, and it also gives suggestions. Create a multiple choice version, harder for exam, provide a complete answer key for grading, turn it to a Google form or Kahoot quiz. It's giving you an option to turn it to a Google form answer. But I'm not going to do that here right now. We will create a Google form for ourselves. That's what we will do in this session. I believe you guys might know already, but anyways we will go through it so that we get hands-on experience. So what we're going to do is, we're going to create it's giving an option, create multiple choice version. Let's go for multiple choice version. Create a multiple choice version. So it's going to give multiple choice for the same questions. Which article of Constitution India allows the state to make special provisions for women and children? Anybody in this field who can answer this? I don't know. Which article of the Constitution of India allows the state to make special provisions for women and children? Article 14, Article 15.3, Article 21. Any of this? Any social science teachers who are expert about articles? Okay, so we have 10 questions. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to open another tab, and I'm going to go for Google Forms. I've used Google Forms before. Have you used Google Forms before? Use Google Forms. People have used it before. So I just showed a demonstration for 2 questions on how Google Form works and how it can be used for tests. From COVID-19 onwards, students are forced to use mobile phones. Before that, mobile phones were not allowed inside the classrooms. Now, mobile phones is part of our curriculum. If at all any forms, if at all some registration, anything, mobile phones is part. In fact, my niece who was in LKG used a mobile phone. And from first standard, second standard, people wrote the examination on mobile phone. So we come from a very different background. From only papers to mobile phones, WhatsApp, all the teachers are connected with the students, and it is a different world right now. 5 years ago it was different, 5 years from now it's totally different. So we will have to get used to these things. So yes, let's start a blank form. I'm just going to copy paste 2 questions. I'm not going to make it into a lot of things. So I'm going to, yes, let's go there. Yeah, we can just copy paste. Yeah, if you can go there, it's already given a multiple choice question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste that one of the, where is the ChatGPT? Yes. I'm going to take that first question. Yeah, I'm going to copy that. It's a manual work. Little bit of manual work is there. You'll have to understand. I can directly use here to convert it into a Google form link. But I want us to know how manual process work. All the time AI doing everything, we will lose our credibility. So we are just trying to get us involved. How Google Forms are created. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go back to that Google form. Yes, we paste it, and I'm going to paste all the 4 options. Can that be done? Quickly, just one question is it? Yes. Can that be done? Oh yeah, all the options are pasted. Okay, all the options are pasted. I'm going to come down. I'm just copy pasting one question. We asked ChatGPT to give 10 different questions. We asked 10 questions, but right now we are running out of time. Is it possible to paste all the 10 questions quickly? Or maybe even 5, 6? Yeah. So what we're going to see here now is all the 10 questions will be pasted into a Google form. So this form is going to be ready within 4-5 minutes. Now I have a multiple choice questions to give to my students tomorrow to just check their knowledge on women and law in India. I took AI support to develop PPT with the help of Canva. Now I took the session with the help of that PPT, and later after 2 days to check my students' knowledge right after the topic is completed, I'm using Google Forms and we're going to ChatGPT to generate quizzes. And I cross-verify all the quiz questions. Hopefully it is related within the subject framework. We will have to modify it. Some manual works are there. Now I am going to copy paste all the verified questions into Google Forms. How much is done? Okay, 3 is done. I guess it's enough instead of into the entire process. Okay. Just stick to 4, sir. It's fine. Okay. Let's just stick to 4. I guess it's enough. So we have, okay, everything is already present. We can delete that otherwise. I guess you could come down. You come down and get the delete option. Yes. The entire thing is undo. Okay, it's there. So I just have 2 to 3 questions and I just want to hit publish. Yes. Anyone with the link can access. Anyone with the link can access that. Maybe you can send that link to your students group where they click that link and immediately take the test. Otherwise, you can use a projector to give a QR code. Now you can ask how to generate a QR code. QR code is better than sending a link. It's more fancy and it looks professional. So what I'm going to do is that, let's open another tab quickly within 5-2 minutes. See, not necessarily AI is needed for everything. Manual work along with some 25, 30 to 40% AI work and our knowledge all combined to do work fast. That's it. It need not be full detailed. So what I'm going to do is QR code generator. Let's go for that. Everything is there on online for free. Now the question is, are we utilizing it? Do we know how to utilize it? I'm just typing QR code. QR code generated 100% free. Click on that first link. See? I'm going to paste our URL. Did we copy? Yes. Download QR code. Is it downloaded? We can cross verify if it's downloaded. I will use my own phone. Let's not design, let's just create and move forward. Okay, let's create. Some designs also you can have. Your QR code is ready. So I'm going to scan that QR code to take my women. Can we display that QR code just for the reference of all our teachers? Download that, yes. These are not tough things, but it takes some at least half an hour effort. Yes. If we can scan, your students can scan to take a test on women and law in India. I hope it works. I guess at least 2 questions will be there on a Google form where I'm checking it along. My internet is slow, but yes. I got a form where I can take. You can just type something randomly. You can select something and submit. I'm just randomly submitting something. We will see the result demonstration as well. Okay, how many replies? We got around 6 responses. Which article constitution? So it's giving a chart on which option was selected. There is another option, right answer can be given an answer key. The answer key, the right option, can be selected within the form. And you are teachers, you will be knowing the right answers anyway. ನೀವೇ questions create ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮಗೆ right answers ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬಹುದು. So it is common. So you get an ideology of how every response comes. You will get an entire pie chart of how each student is responding. In this room, around 8 people gave answers for women and India and law, women and law in India. So we have around 42.9% choosing the option B, that is Article 15.3. Is that the right answer? Is that the right answer? Because 49% of our room, 42% of our room is going for option B. And around 28% is choosing option A, that is Article 14. And around another 28% is choosing Article 19. That is option C. So it's giving a rough estimation of, if let's say 50 students are there in the class, 50 students are answering. You can see, if someone selected C, wrong answer, you can see how many students and where these students are making mistakes. Immediately evaluation is taken and we have to make sure they are not in a copying environment. If there is a copying environment, everybody will just see which option did you take, which option did you take, I'm going to take the same option. That environment should be monetized by human eyes, not AI eyes. We will have to take certain charge and we can actually conduct honest tests. Within the small time which was given, we created a PowerPoint presentation with AI, we created a quiz questionnaire with AI. At the same time, we used a question to create a form and we stored that form's link into a QR code. The room scanned it and we started taking the test. This is just a demonstration from a small thing here. If these kind of tools can be, used in our regular classes on frequent basis, provided we the teacher, put some half an hour work where we can generate these kind of questions and these kind of PowerPoint presentations related to the syllabus curriculum, and we interact with the students on a daily basis, they will be like, this is a smart teacher. This is a very smart teacher who knows how to involve themselves. Instead of giving lectures every day, why not involve our students with smart thinking into using their mobile phones to advantage? Everybody carries mobile phones. When I take training, every student will use mobile phone without seeing WhatsApp or Instagram. I keep make them think some beautiful things with AI and I try to make them develop. Recently, one of my students, he represented Magic Bucks India Foundation in All India AI Summit. He created a project. He was in my session, he was having some problem statements. He used AI to create some mini project along with that. That project was selected for AI Summit through Magic Bucks. And this guy was offered 30 lakhs package by a company called Quest. And this guy was so much motivated, he quit that. He said, I don't want this 30 lakhs package, I am going to start my own company. This is an honest story. His name is Mohammed Zayed Hussain. He quit that 30 lakhs package and he was inspired to start his own company. And he has his own company called CodeQuest, where he works along with schools teaching AI and other kind of, conducting workshops along with, they do many other things. So this is an honest story like how a student, decided to use AI to build applications at the same time start his own venture. Just out of a 10-day program, not a full 4-year curriculum. It's all about how we are going to inspire our students. And as teachers, I strongly believe we need to hold strongly to the basic, roots, textbooks, the syllabus. That is our core development. I'm not against our core development, but how are we going to enhance ourselves to deliver this core knowledge in simple, easy, 2025 learning way. Concentration span from 45 minutes is up to 25 to 30 minutes. Why? People are watching reels. 10 seconds, 15 second reels. And research say that watching reels on a continuous basis for 1 to 2 hours, it creates a cognitive clogging. In the sense, in the mind, the thinking capacity reduces. Critical thinking capacity goes down more you watch reels. Because the brain wants 10 seconds, 15 seconds attention, 30 seconds attention. If some content is not good, immediately go to the next content. Immediately next content. Until we get hooked. So, concentration span is not even for 1 minute. Maximum 15 to 30 seconds. Immediately swipe to next week. So this is the minds of our youth right now. When we were 21, 25, we didn't have reels. Now 18, 19, 20, 21 full reels. Average person spends 6 hours on phone daily. That is equivalent to 2 years in 10 years. 2.4 years in 10 years. So 2 years people are just watching reels out of 10 years. Youth's time is wasted on phone itself. 2 to 3 plus years, if it's 9 to 10 hours. So, even if we failed 1 year in life, we will think for 1 year, watch Doordarshan or something like that, we will develop. That is I cannot relate the Doordarshan, but yes. But we have time to think. But the current generation have very less time to think. And they're very hooked with phone. So how can we use the phone itself to change their mindset? We have to tackle it. That is what I propose. And to remove a thorn, we will have to become a thorn. To catch a robber, we will have to become a robber. To catch a thief, we will have to become a thief. So to change this generation, we will have to start thinking smart like this generation. That is what I like to say to my humble crowd here, and this is what I propose. And that's enough for a demonstration.
Thank you very much. Now the session is open for discussion. If anyone wants to discuss.
So basically, I do keep using this ChatGPT as well as Canva for design. There's a stage, I'm into teaching also, now I'm into administration. When I was into teaching, when I was doing the things regularly, studies and everything, the vocabulary point of view, I really want to know about that. We will lose control. I think in a short sentence, we'll keep this and we will provide everything. But we are losing the control of full sentence explanation or anything. Like we get habituated at a later stage, it's really very difficult. Sometimes I feel some words, alphabets I don't remember. Some alphabet I don't getting habituated to that and coming out of it. So can we just continue with it, or is there a way we can actually make sure that our knowledge is also not getting good? Because if I ask AI to write a letter, it will write a letter immediately within short time. But me drafting a letter is going to take time.
Yes.
So if I get habituated to writing a letter using AI, then when I don't have internet or anything like that, I need to write a letter, then it is a really difficult part for me. So what are your suggestions to overcome this particular issue?
So yes, thank you so much for that beautiful question. And I want to develop within that same letter. And right now, speaking, physically very few people write letter, and everybody addresses it mail and everything else. And I myself use AI to write letters. Yes, without any doubt, I use AI to generate my emails and all of that. But I make sure that I am the person designing the entire blueprint. And at the same time, I don't let the AI create everything, I modify. I get to learn. Sometimes there are certain words that AI uses, it's way better than what I can use. And be like, wow, that's nice word to use. I will utilize that word. If something is there, I will edit it up. And what I do is, I will restructure it at the same time and use AI there. And sometimes we can identify if it's AI structured. So I will try to do alterations and humanize it so that it doesn't look like it's 90% AI generated. So what I do is that I try to collaborate along with it at the same time, not overly depend on it. It's not like I just generate a letter and send it. I read it, I re-verify it, I check for the sentence correction and everything. I learn from AI. At the same time, I keep myself, moving fast. So if someone's going to just ask me blindly about that letter, I know what happens inside it. So it happens. People just randomly do and they forget. I guess you have to utilize it at the same time learn about it. That's what even I do because I get scared. What if I forget my basics because of all these nonsense? But yes, keeping ourselves.
Okay, I have one question.
Yes.
How this is useful in research?
In research. Okay, coming to that, there is an option called as, there is an option within ChatGPT where it gets into deep thinking. This is just a basic thinking thing which we use. Now let's say I am not an expert in the research field, but still I can suggest something that I have used because in my computer science engineering even I published papers in IEEE papers, so I use research papers. So instead of where we get confused which paper to refer to, which thesis to actually look into, we can use AI tools which can get deep inside the internet and search for the right kind of papers according to the thesis that we are working on. So if you want to refer to the right things according to what we are looking into, there are options which understands and gets into the depth of the internet to get the right things under our page. So I know the right person to comment on research, but if we are working on some research and if you're actually looking into forming some papers and coming up with new ideas, there are options within ChatGPT kind of platforms which helps us to bring all the papers within one particular forum. So that is how it's useful, I guess. But if you can get specific, maybe that's a yes.
Basically, to be very precise and frank, as the research is concerned on AI, we should not rely on what you got as 100% of the AI, 90% is concerned. We just have to particularly take the information what is available in the environment, 5 to 10%. When we understand the international universities also, very lot of plagiarism, many issues are there. And in this uniformity, it will say the risk factor for researcher also, particularly to discard certain things also. So that is what actually is not advised. And secondly, AI only can be used like one tool, which is beneficial, which can save some time. Actually, we do not have some manpower with us for a short time of things. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
It's very, very important and useful to all the teachers. So as you suggested, so for the teachers particularly, not students, but for teachers this is very, very important one because so to prepare one PPT we need to have lots of time, it requires lots of time, but within short time we can make the PPTs, the effective PPTs. But most of the time if we just put one general word, sometimes general PPT need to be prepared. So we have to be very specific in this one. Subject, we need to understand the subject and what kind of PPTs we need. Even figures also we can generate, it seems. Can we generate videos? Video? Yes.
Sir, for chairing this session, and I thank Reliance Foundation team for presenting and giving a wonderful activity session. I request as a token of appreciation for the chairman